Human Rights Office described as systematic attacks on schools by Israel.
A U.S. military base in eastern Syria was hit by a one-way drone, as confirmed by a U.S. defense official.
Initial assessments do not suggest any injuries from the attack, though the official noted that medical evaluations and damage assessments were still ongoing.
Brazilian airline Vopas has updated the death toll to 62, including 58 passengers and 4 crew members aboard its plane that crashed Friday. President Biden discussed his decision to exit the 2024 presidential race during an interview on CBS Sunday Morning yesterday.
President Biden, who previously stated that his 2020 run for the White House was motivated by concerns about former President Donald Trump.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact.
That's a fact.
Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Nope.
Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
Wow, that's hot. Very hot. Can we bring it down a little bit? Oh, people on the radio must be freaking out. Hey, how come it's so loud? What happened? Sorry, people on the radio. If I pull your speakers out, send the bill to DD Fended. Oh, good morning. Good morning, people of, I don't know, America and Canada and any other place you might be tuning in this morning. It is Monday, your favorite day of the week, August 12th, 2024. Feels like autumn, like early autumn had set in. It was 65 degrees when I went out to take the trash out this morning. No, I'm not complaining. It's nice. Not summer, though. And summer seemed to have ended about a week ago with that torrential rainstorm, and then it rained for about a week. That's beautiful out. Don't get me wrong. It feels a little bit like, dare I say, 9/11. That Tuesday morning was just a perfect autumn-like morning, but that was a month later than this. Anyway, it might warm up again. I hope it does. I'm not ready for summer to be over, but here we are. Yeah, I hope it's still summer where you are. Kind of a crazy weekend. Things going on here. I want to tell you that my people have decided to honor me, the Papoosatuk, on August 17th, Saturday, August 17th. Is it Saturday? I think it's Saturday. Yes, Saturday. August 17th from 12 noon to 9 p.m. Free food, free drink, weed, free pre-rolls at the Papoosatuk at Native Land, where I'd be formally inducted into the tribe as a tribe member. You think I'm pulling your leg? I'm not. I'm pulling your moccasin. No, I'm not. I'm being completely honest with you about this. I guess there's some bloodletting going planned or something like that. Maybe it's a setup, and they're just gonna. Well, they couldn't scalp me. There's nothing really to get. I don't know. But so it's a party, and there'll be music, and there'll be free food and free drink, and good weed. You have to lose the papoose. You're invited. All you pale face people are invited, and GD too. um, crazy times, man. It seems to me that every time I have a gig that gets rained out, everybody writes to me, "Oh, they're so disappointed. They were bringing everybody they knew. It was going to be." It seemed like the entire population of planet Earth was coming to my show on Friday night that got rained out, and it's always the rainouts. And I just think that's a convenient excuse to say, "Well, we were going to come that time." I'm not one of these people who ask their friends to come a lot. I don't ever reach. Oh, you got to come to my gig. I stopped doing that 40 years ago. But for some reason, I think some of them feel guilty that they don't. And then they use a rain out as an excuse to say, see, that was the one I was bringing my entire family and relatives were coming from Brazil in Pago Pango or Pago Pago or one of them double name islands countries. Anyway, said the rain out. You know what? Life is difficult with these gigs. And the Kill Tony shows at Madison Square Garden. I know several people who traveled across the country for their shot at getting called to the stage. But here's the thing, and I hadn't watched it because, listen, this is a money-making operation here. They are charging for the live stream. To watch the live stream, I think it was $25 for 2 days, $15 each a day. I wasn't going to do that. I mean, to watch something that I don't really care about, so I didn't do that. But according to what I've read and heard on Twitter and Facebook and wherever, it was a packed show full of celebrity people, not so much for the people in the bucket. There was a lineup that was just too packed to allow for a lot of people from the bucket. So a lot of people traveled across country following these guys around like, this is my big chance of get recognized, and the world's going to find out who I am and how great I am. And then what happens is you get this.
I think you're a loser.
And that's basically how it ends. I think you're a loser. Anyway, you know what? That's a pipe dream. You're going to follow people around the country looking for your one moment, your lottery ticket moment, and then you scratch it off and the numbers aren't there. What are you going to do? You pick yourself up and you start over again. Maybe, I'm just saying maybe there's a way that actually works. It's called dedication and hard work, 10,000 hours of practice, and continuing to find the small gigs and build upon small gigs to bigger gigs and stuff like that. Maybe. I'm just saying maybe that's the case. Anyway, maybe my friends will know a little bit more about it than I do. I don't know. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. We'll get to them in a minute. I think we have a very weird week. Mostly serious kind of subjects this week. It's I said I wanted to get away from comedy, but I don't want to become like I don't know, David Fry. You don't even know who that is. Where did he come from? David Susskind. No, none of these people I don't want it to be like I want yucks. I'm here for the yucks is basically what I'm saying. Today we have a weight loss author and nutrition expert on in the first hour. And then we have Trent Babb, who's been on the show before. Trent has just last night opened up for Jay Leno. I think he's doing it again tomorrow night. Why not Monday night, Sunday night, and Tuesday night at the Burbank Comedy Festival. So that's one comedian we got this week. And then Friday, we have two comedians on that have 3 years between them. 3 years experience between them. I'm doing this at 3. Yeah, this is 3. I can't do 3. It hurts my hand to do that now. Mickey Mantle used to do 3 like this. Anyway, how many homers did you hit today, Mick? Anyway, so the Rev was kind of addressing this subject. We've been getting a lot of these comedians on who basically have 10 seconds of experience and they don't have a lot to bring to the program. Hopefully Friday they will have something to bring to the program. At least if you're not going to be funny, be stupid. If you're not going to be funny, that's our new bumper sticker. If you're not going to be funny, be stupid. But you know what? I have been reaching out to. I tried getting Louis J. Gomez, who's going to be at Govs next weekend, to come on the program. I haven't heard back from him, but when I don't hear back from him, I'm assuming that's a big no. I've reached out to a lot of named comedians, and I'm kind of blaming GD and Ron and Steven for the people just saying, no, I don't want to be associated with these guys. I'm a big star. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I have it all wrong. Anyway, let's go get high, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
With humble East Coast beginnings in 2015, Daily High Club is the premier destination for glass water pipes, vaporizers, and consumption accessories. If you're looking to elevate your smoking game to the next level, you're in the right place. With over 1 million top-quality smoking products sold, and with a growing base of over 10,000 monthly subscribers worldwide, we deliver the ultimate smoking experience. But Daily High Club is not just a retailer, we're lovers of the smoking scene ourselves, working with giants like Tommy Chong, Snoop Dogg, Chanel West Coast, and more. Ready to join the Daily High Club? Let our experts curate your collection with our awesome El Primo monthly subscription box, or grab one of our fun and unique pieces from our smoke shop. Click the link in the description below this video to get this party started now.
Or just come to the Papoosatuck. Go to the native land on the Papoosatuck on Saturday, August 17th. What is he doing? He's like Blue Velveting over there, Steven.
Yeah.
He was doing the Blue Velvet thing. Come to the Papoosatuck on August 17th. 2024 for free food, free drinks, free weed, entertainment, games, and me. We'll be going. Anyway, I'm being racist about my own heritage, my own Papoosatuck heritage already. Terrible thing. I want to say good morning to Stephen Ortiz, who was late coming in because
I think you're a loser.
I want to say good morning to Ron Kane and my best friend of 37 years, Mr. H.R. Haldeman. Good morning, H.R.
Good morning, America. Good morning, America. Do you have issues with your fans and friends and family lying to your face? Come to MindDogTV.com and get your very own ass bag. Here's how the ass bag works. Put it over your head. Your friends and family can no longer lie to your face. They're saying it to your ass. If it sounds like shit and it smells like shit, they're talking shit.
Wow. Now, who drew that portrait of Mike Chivola for you?
MindDogTV.com for all of your ass needs. Enjoy the suffering.
Feels a little asinine.
I think his ass is probably an 8, not a 9, but whatever.
All right. Yeah. So it was a weird weekend, man. Very weird. It's a strange time of year. Comedy not doing so well. Music not doing so well in this part. I mean, a lot of rainouts for the music stuff, and a lot of people not showing up at comedy gigs. I checked on a couple of comedy clubs this weekend. Now, I'm blaming the New York stuff on Kill Tony being in town and 28 or 20,000 people going to see comedy in Madison Square Garden, which is not necessarily a great place to see comedy in the first place. A lot of comedians going there, but a lot of regular fans going there, and I just don't get it. I think the tickets were like $75 each.
Holy shit!
I know. To go see comedy from like 1,000 feet away in the upper deck or where I don't know.
It's not even comedy. It's more like train wrecks. It's more like an accident, hoping that comedy breaks out.
That's a good way to describe it. They should. They should put that in there. Yeah. I don't know. Did anybody watch the streams? Anybody?
I didn't. I wasn't going to pay to watch them live. No, I'll wait for them to come out free in a few weeks.
Oh, they will come out free. That's what I was curious about.
They always do. They always come out. I think if I remember correctly, they say they're 3 or 6 weeks back usually on the stuff that they upload. So yeah, I wasn't going to pay for that. That's dumb. He's got 20,000 people there paying for it. You know, you got Willie not getting on stage and stranded outside, just trying to scream at comedians that are ignoring him. You know, it's a big mess.
You know that happened?
Yeah.
You do know that happened?
He posted a video outside of Madison Square Garden when Ron White was walking out, and he goes, "Ron, hey Ron," and Ron just completely ignores him. "Ron, thanks for what you do to comedy," and he just kept going.
Thanks for what you do to comedy.
Thanks for what you do for comedy.
Yeah, what does he do for guy? He does it for himself. He does it.
I was gonna say, if there's ever been a comedian that strictly does comedy for himself, it's Ron White at this point.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
for
anyone else.
I just have a question because I'm not familiar with the Kill Tony people. You're not talking about Ron White from Redneck Comedy, right?
Yes. He's in with them. Yeah, he's part of that Austin clique.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He's been part of that Austin clique for a while.
That's why he didn't answer, because he's in it for himself. He's like, "You've done so much for comedy. What do you need?"
Oh my God! I used to hold that man with such esteem. I thought he was like the best of the redneck comedy comedians.
He is the best of the redneck comedy tour still, but he's still in the clique though. Yeah.
No. Okay. Well, he still can be the best, and the other ones can be.
Separate the art from the artist, sir.
No.
Let me drop a little bit of grace on him. Okay, here's a little bit of grace. I don't know if you've been a gigging musician in your life. Have you ever been in a room where there's young musicians and there's this one old coot who used to be great and he's there and the young people are looking up to him, and kissing his ass, and he's kind of remembering his glory days, and because he feels old in the way, but these young studs are like, "Oh man, look who it is," and it's blowing up his ego. That's the Ron White situation when he was on.
Okay. I am that old coot who back in the day was like the innovative, really hot totsy guitar player, songwriter guy. And guess what? When I'm in that room and people try to remember that shit, I tamp it down. I don't need my ego inflated like that. If I want my ego inflated, I'll try to accomplish something else. I'm not going to live off of past glories like that.
All right.
I appreciate the recognition, but I'm not going to. I'm not Ron Whiting you. No.
Well, I think that's why Ron White loves hanging around with these guys, because they all look up to him, and I've seen him in conversation with them, and he's always referring to how old he is, and they're like, "Oh, you're not the old guy, you're the cool guy," and I've seen that go down. So that's just a little bit of grace. I'm not saying you have to forgive him everything, but I'm just saying I can understand a little bit about what he's going through. That's all.
Look, here's another little secret. I was not that great of a guitar player. Okay, I was innovative.
I don't think that's a secret. That's pretty. I wrote a blog about that.
No, I'm just saying that most people don't know it. I was a very, very adequate guitar player. My band, I was great for my band. I was really good for my band. Okay, but if you stack me against other guitar players, if like Eddie Van Halen is here and Jimi Hendrix is here, I'm not even in the conversation. I'm not even in the same book. I'm not even in the same library. Okay, fuck that.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I love Matt's blog. You know, I hate gdfenderson.com. I mean, yesterday's post about you was fantastic.
I think it's .net. Come on, be fair. I hate
.org.
The thing is, I caught a glimpse of the blog.
.com was already taken. I just want to say that
the blog did not bother me as much as my wife's contributions to it. That really hurt me right there. My wife's contributions to the blog, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, she runs the .com and Matt runs the .net.
I run the .org.
Yeah.
Hey, that reminds me. I just wanted to, because I've had 2 people message me this morning. I know the website is down. It will be back up.
I don't know that. I did not know the website was.
My website is down.
Oh, your website is down.
My website is down.
When you say the website, I'm thinking Mind Dog TV.
Oh, sorry. I apologize.
And
the sitcom.info is down.
I have to finish this with links back to you guys. I'm fucking all over the place. With
You're fucking all over the place. That's gross. I am putting down a towel.
You hope you're wearing protection. I'm not judgmental. I'm just cautious. I hope you're wearing protection. I don't want the Reverend catching something on Sunday that you got on Saturday night. That's all I'm saying.
It's funny that Steven should bring up putting down a towel. This is disgusting. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to go there. I look at that.
You have to now. You can't leave us hanging on a cliffhanger. This ain't no fucking Goosebumps movie. What the fuck is that about?
All right. All right. You make me do it. I'll prove that I'm disgusting enough to.
We know
be
you're a
honest
disgusting
with
human
that.
being. We just want more examples.
I had a dream, a very vivid dream last night.
Okay, Martin Luther.
I've been having very vivid dreams lately, and I think this is part of the dying process. Is remembering these moments in your life, like they say your life flashes in front of you when you're dying. Mine, it's more like a slow, not flash, like glimpses here and there for weeks or years or however long.
It's like a dimmer switch.
It's a sitcom.
It's more like one of those flip books of where they had movies on paper where they were drawings and you'd look at one frame at a time.
What's
That's what I'm
paper?
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. Go on.
I was remembering a girlfriend I had when I was 13 years old, and I used to fuck her at my family's house in the family den there. And we'd fuck, and then she would take after we're done fucking, she'd take the cushions and turn it over. Like, and like that happened like 3 or 4 times. And like fucking family couch has got cum stains all over it now. It took a while before I had to tell her, you know what, we got to plan this out and put a towel down. Steven just reminded me of that. How you put a towel down?
I did one a little more embarrassing than that. I'll see your family couch fucking with cum stains, and I will raise you. I will raise you. I lost
I'm no
my
JD
virginity
Vance.
at-
I just want to say.
No. I lost my virginity at 15, right? And I did it from the wheelchair with the chick, not thinking anything of it. I go home, and to get in the house, my parents have to bring the wheelchair up. And my dad picks up the cushion. He goes, "What's all over your seat?" Oops. I didn't know.
Oh.
He was touching his grandchildren. I felt terrible.
Awful. It was on his grandchildren.
So I had to be like, "Oh, I spilled my tray on myself today at lunch." He goes, "Oh, it's mashed potatoes?" Uh-huh.
And they're swimming? Swimming potatoes?
That was so bad.
That just reminded me of I had sex with this girl in the parking lot of a bar, and then I walked into the bar, and my friend was sitting in the booth there, and he saw me come in with her, and we went separate ways. After we got in the bar, she went over there. He goes, "You just came in with that girl?" I said, "Yeah." He goes, "What's that on the back of her dress?" That's me.
Oh, God.
My kids.
Okay.
Yeah.
I see you walking into the bar, and I raise you this one, okay? I got head from a chick in the bathroom, right? And I come out of the bathroom, and everybody looks at me, and I didn't put my junk away. Yeah. Walked into a crowded bar, dick out.
How did they see it? Did everybody have a microscope?
Matt Napo. Anyways, yeah, it was terribly embarrassing. I got a few free drinks, but I think it was just out of embarrassment, not out of, like, hey, that's cool. Nice cock. No. Wasn't that.
Yeah. I think we have
no
first
stories like
no-show.
that because Black people are taught at an early age to be responsible with their junk.
Really?
Yeah, we don't have any illegitimate children out there at all. We don't have those accidents.
You liar.
It doesn't happen.
I like what Louis J. Gomez said about that. You can you either want less Black people or you want abortion. You can't or you want to be against abortion. You can't go both ways.
That's terrible.
I know, but it's true. It is true. I mean, whatever. I'm already. I think we have our first no-show of the week, and I'm not.
Well, to be honest, though, they could have less Black people and still ban abortion. They just have to legalize lynching.
I sent an email out to both of them, and I did not get a response from either one. So,
well, I'm not really broken up or heart. Kay Lowry was booked earlier in the month, and she canceled the day before because she had a client take the spot. I'm like, well, the client didn't do any work. I did work to promote you already. And then she rescheduled today without asking. She just, I just rescheduled for Monday, whatever day, August 12th. And weight loss is, you know what? I don't really care. I don't have any shame about eating. I will eat junk. I will eat the shittiest food I possibly can. And at this point in my life, it's all about enjoying what I eat. And I don't fucking care if it makes me fat. I don't care if it makes me stupid. I don't care if it makes me have bad breath.
Obviously, we can tell. Obviously, yeah, you don't care. We know. We can tell.
Yes. But I like coffee. Coffee is my main meal. I have coffee three meals a day, 3 square meals or round meals of coffee a day, and that's it.
Well, it'd
That's
be
all
weird
I
if you were drinking, if you had if you had like, you know, like square meals.
Yeah, square meals. Well,
coffee takes the shape of its container, unless it's a bean.
Right. Her book is about not feeling shame about the thing. Have you guys ever felt shame about what you ate?
Yeah, all the time.
Unless it was like some skanky girls.
I was about to say yes, it wasn't shame as much as it was. I wish it wasn't on tape. That's all. I wish it wasn't being recorded. But now that I realize that nobody has VHS anymore, fine.
Let's just keep it to food. Have you ever been ashamed of or overeating? You have?
I have. I'm getting ready to start the weight loss clinic actually because I'm trying to lose weight, and I get that all the time because I try to watch what I eat, then I get hungry, like really hungry, and then I'll demolish, you know, like half a pizza or, you know,
half a pizza. Come on, that's amateur work.
Burgers. Not for me. It's not.
For me, it is. I will eat 12 pizzas.
My biggest shame though. My biggest shame is
shameful.
My biggest shame though is we like to do DoorDash real late at night. We'll DoorDash food at like 11:30.
Now that's shameful. Not because of the food, but it's because you fucking lazy ass motherfucker. You're paying through the nose for somebody else. Maybe you're providing a job, but
yeah, I'm giving back to the economy.
That's a waste of money.
But chances are that person's the comedian who now can't be on stage because they have to be out.
They can deny this. They can deny the delivery, first of all. And second of all, at 11:30, you're not going on stage at 11:30 in Fort Wayne. I don't want to hear it.
No, yeah, I'm not. But I did DoorDash once during the very beginning of the pandemic, and I was doing a show in the morning, and I ordered a bacon, egg, and cheese, and I think it was like $18 with the DoorDash. Like for a fucking bacon, egg, and cheese on a roll.
Prices are crazy inflated though in bigger cities too. Like where I'm at, the difference between going and picking it up versus DoorDash is like $7 difference.
You know, do you think I live in a big city?
You live in New York almost.
No, that's 100 miles away. Where I live, the population 700.
Okay, so
yeah,
you live in a small
what's the
town.
income? What's the income level there?
There is
no median income.
It's all outgo. It's all outgo. There's no income at all.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're all so wealthy, they don't got to bring in anymore. They just push it out.
Watch.
Are you going to the Smart List podcast that's going to happen in the Hamptons?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's what's going to happen in the Hamptons. Watch the Tesla documentary on PBS. It talks about the people of Shoreham were awakened by the floating cows. When he levitated cows with his wireless transmitter.
Oh, I've heard about that.
But there were at the time there were 9 people living in Shoreham who witnessed it. The floating cows. Now they were all on mushrooms, probably.
Cows?
Yes. Well, the cows shit much. You got to think the cows are fucking hallucinating anyway, because what you do is you're taking the mushrooms out of their shit. That's where the psilocybin mushrooms come from. So they must be tripping anyway. But I'm thinking all those 9 people who saw the cows levitating were all tripping on the mushrooms from the cows.
Now, I'm sort of a novice at the whole mushroom thing. I've never even had a mushroom. I'm not even sure I've ever seen a mushroom, to be honest. I mean, the kind that you actually ingest.
Mushroom.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I've ever seen one. I've had people say they've had them. I don't know. They really do grow in cow shit?
Yes. What my thing when I was when I lived in Florida, when I ran away, we used to wait for the rain because within an hour after a rainstorm, they would come up, and so we'd go out to the farm and there would still be cows out there, and we'd like be picking it right out of their shit, filling up hefty bags full of mushrooms we just picked out of cow shit, and the farmers would come out and shoot at us, but it was worth getting shot to get a hefty bag full of mushrooms.
Now,
Yeah.
is it because I worked on a farm and part of my job for 2 years was to shovel shit. And I don't know if now if I was giving them the shit and they were like taking that mushrooms and I'm taking the shit and growing mushrooms and had like a side business.
I don't know.
Or
I think it has to be pretty fresh shit for the mushrooms after the rain. So I don't know the
that's
science.
that's what I was about to say because we went in like next day and
Yeah.
then not only that it was shoveling it, but it was in barns. We didn't shovel it out in the field, but it was in the barns. So I know if it had to have like because I know mushrooms like it dark. You know, they're like me and my sex life. You know, they
Yeah.
like it dark and they like it, you know, but I was just I don't know. I've never researched it.
All right. Well, basically, we would make tea out of it, not just to eat them, because I think the first few times we ate the mushrooms, and there was a lot of strychnine still in them. You have to boil the strychnine out of them. That's not good when you're tripping, and all of a sudden you start getting strychnine stomach cramps, and you're like, do you think you're gonna die? And then that doesn't end for 20 hours.
Okay, one last question then: is a strychnine like a type 5 in comedy?
That's a strict 9.
Yeah,
Maybe it would be a strict 10, but I know I've never heard of a strict 9, a type 5.
Yeah.
Well, that's a girl who was like not that attractive, but still kind of virginal.
And that brings a smile and a memory to Ron's face.
So yeah, Ron, you didn't come back with a cowboy hat. I was expecting you to come back with a cowboy hat.
He does. It's just about this big, and he wears it next to a cock ring.
no cowboy hat, and it was hot as fuck.
Yeah, no mushrooms.
No, I had to.
You know why? Because it doesn't rain. That's why.
Yeah, because weed isn't legal in Texas. So,
what you mean? Texas is not a real place?
I don't think so.
Texas.
Yeah, I mean, after I've been to Dallas again, I mean, I hadn't been there in a bit, and I realize it's one of my least favorite cities in Texas.
Yeah. Well, let's take those quotes from Texas and put them on legal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I had to buy some THCA on my first night there, and they had the pre-rolls are overpriced, but then when you talk to some of the locals, they tell you there's a couple shops that you can go into, and as long as you demonstrate that you are not a narc, you can.
Yeah, we have those here too, but they got a couple of them have been raided. Not because it's legal here, but still people do it like they don't have their license, because I think the license for a recreational dispensary is like $100,000 or something. So we have these CBD stores that sell weed illegally, really, and they've been raided and that kind of stuff. But they feel you out, like, are you a cool dude? And once they know you're a cool dude, yeah, we got some under the counter. What are you looking for? That kind of stuff.
Man,
very weird.
They just opened recreational dispensaries in Ohio, which is about 30 minutes from me. I got really excited because I was like, cool, I don't have to use my dealer anymore in Indiana, because I pay like $30 for like a $15 cart, right? Because she goes to Michigan, and that's like an hour and a half, 2-hour drive, whatever.
Also?
No, not in Indiana. And so I went over there to check it out. They're charging double the price Michigan is for all their products.
Wow.
Like for a 1 gram cartridge.
You need over there. I was thinking about approaching the chief. I'm sorry. I don't know if there's a chief. But because for me as a tribe member, I get like incredible discounts and freebies and all. Yesterday they were throwing in freebies and stuff and lighters and everything.
Sucks so much.
Oh. Yeah, it's the cheapest good weed I've ever experienced. I could get an ounce of good weed for $80.
Yeah, see, in Ohio, for an ounce of weed, it's like $135.
That's cheap though. I mean, well, I'm
Yeah,
talking about weed that on
I'm
the
talking
black
for
market,
like I'm talking for like
$400
skunky
count weed.
gross shit.
Yeah.
It's
All
How
right.
long
bad.
is that?
It's
How
bad.
long a drive is that for, let's say, someone who just pick a town randomly from Westminster, Maryland, to Pawtucket Central?
I would think
Papoosatuck?
probably, you know what? Probably about 1,000 miles. No.
Okay, like
Um,
6 hours then.
Yeah, I don't
according
know.
to Google, the chief of the Papoosatuck is Chief Tuckapoo.
Really? Are you looking that up? Tuckapoo, Poosatuck, Tuckapoop. Um, Here, Stephen, do the Google distance on this Westminster, Maryland to Mastic Beach, Long Island, Mastic Beach, New York,
All right,
11950.
All right, Westminster, Pennsylvania
Yeah, Maryland.
or Maryland. Sorry, Maryland.
It's not
Okay,
Minister, it's
and
Minster. Minster.
it said Minster.
Yeah, I'm just saying because some people
And that
say
was
Minster and they write Minister.
coming from
Yeah.
where in New York?
Mastic Beach, New York. And as we
That
do that,
is
Yes.
200. It's 292 miles.
Damn,
Wow.
that's nothing.
But it's a
That's
6 hour and 25-minute drive.
Right.
a 6-hour tour.
But
Well, you should
5
come for
hours
the
and
big.
15 minutes if you do the toll road.
That toll road's not a problem.
It is a problem.
No, I have Easy Pass. You don't pay for it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Then fuck you. Go then take the toll road.
The tolls are more than the weed. The tolls, going over the Verrazano Narrows, I think you have to take out a mortgage every time you go over.
Yeah, but when you have Easy Pass, it's free. You never pay for it. It just is. It's amazing how that works. You drive through, and that's it.
Funny, I have an Easy Pass thing, and I drive through, and 2 weeks later I get a bill. Not a bill, a deduction from my checking account. Like it's like, here's how much we charged you for that, and sorry, you can't pay your mortgage this month.
What? No, they don't take. No, there's something wrong with your Easy Pass. You need to get that checked. They don't. I'm pretty sure they don't take.
Checked.
I'm pretty sure they don't take money out of your checking account. That sounds like they're robbing you or something.
That's a New York thing. It's a New York thing.
Oh, okay. That sounds like theft.
They took down all the toll booths about 10 years ago, and then now they just debit you. Oh, we got your license plate. We figured out who you are, or whatever, or the Easy Pass thing that was in. Now, when I sold my van, I left the Easy Pass little thing in the van, so somebody else has it now, so they can go through it. I haven't been over. I haven't been on a toll road since I got rid of the van. I guess I got to get a new Easy Pass thing. This is exciting conversation for people.
It is. I was watching our viewership go up by leaps and bounds almost.
Beeps and Lounds.
Yeah, that's it. Beeps and Lounds.
Yeah. Anything interesting going on in the show business? Well, now yesterday was the 10th anniversary of Robin Williams killing himself, and people were making a big deal about that. It's like, I did not know we were supposed to celebrate anniversaries of death days. It's the first time I've never seen that before. Like, oh, it's been 50 years since Frank Sinatra fucking got syphilis. Whatever. Your birthdays, I see birthdays, but not. Robin Williams is the first suicide I think we're keeping tracks on the date and celebrating it every year.
Chester Bennington's another one.
Jesus' suicide. That was right. He did. Yeah, it was suicide.
Wow, I don't know. It was.
He left a note. Okay, he left a note. It was like 14 books long. It's a suicide.
All right.
Or manifesto.
But we don't know what the date was. Like we know Robin Williams' date. We don't
know when they found him, right?
Yeah, it was somewhere around Passover. So it just worked out that way.
Yeah.
I think it's just a refresher so you can see his filmography every year, because his filmography is pretty impressive. I mean, he's got stinkers on there, of course, but I mean, he had a long career.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh,
Well, to be
and
honest,
Robin Williams did too, not just Jesus. He's talking about Jesus' filmography, obviously. King of Kings
and
was
Jesus
a
had some
great.
stinkers in there too. Yeah, like the Mel Brooks, but not Mel Brooks, Mel Gibson version.
I have not seen that, but it just seemed like, you know what, doesn't seem like Passion. Is that the Passion of
I
Christ?
think that's the Passion. No, no. I'm trying to think which. No, oh, yeah, that's the Passion because Temptation was when Willem Dafoe was that Willem Dafoe had played Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the yeah, that's
that was a Scorsese thing, right? I'm totally screwing up entertainment news here for you, but that was really got the critics hated that, not just Christians, the critics in general hated that movie.
Atheists hated it.
Yeah, atheists hated it, right? Well, they would. But anyway, you guys want to talk about any of the stuff that's going on in politics this weekend?
Yeah. I am excited to talk about
I knew you would.
the women's basketball.
Now the Olympics is over, right? It's done.
Yeah, it's done. It's done. Tom Cruise, the guy with the little scooter, Tom Cruise scooter.
Yeah, I have some of this in showbiz.
Okay, I'm not going to talk about him riding with the flag and jumping and landing in Vegas. I'm not going to talk about that because I don't want to run it. But
he jumped with the flag, a United States flag. Well, you're not going to talk about
flag, but I'm not going to talk about that because I don't want to run it for
All
Ron.
right.
I'm not a spoiler. I'm a bastard. There's a difference.
Right.
But the women's basketball gold medal game went down literally to the last second, and the U.S. women won by 1 point and 6 inches. It was.
How many guys were on the team?
I didn't check, and there were no DNA tests.
Now that remember the boxer chick, the Italian, the Algerian who punched the. She's back in the news that they were saying that the night before she was in the hospital with some chromosomal problem. Who goes to the hospital with a chromosome problem? I feel my chromosomes are a little acting up. Like,
are they even big enough to have? I mean, that's.
I don't know.
Chromosomes are smaller than dandruff. Okay, and I don't remember anybody. I'm saying chromosomes are smaller than dandruff, and I don't remember any athlete going to the hospital the night before saying, "I have problems with my dandruff. I cannot perform tomorrow. I may not be able." No, and chromosomes are even smaller. I'm sorry, I can't get I can't get behind that.
Yeah, or in front of it, or even on the side of it. But they're back to saying because we went through the whole thing. It's a guy, it's a girl. She's born a girl, born with a vagina, born with a uterus. Universal uterus.
Universal uterus.
By the way, Bernie Sanders is now pushing for universal uteruses. But
you gotta have uteruses and uteri in every snatch in America.
It's discreet. It's just keeping the uteruses to just the wealthy and powerful. So now they're back to saying she's part guy. Now, this is a person, and imagine being a woman and just everybody saying you're a guy, and you're not a guy, and you're just an ugly woman. It's got to like really. So she's suing people now. She's suing. I don't know who she's suing, but she's suing people in the media. She could sue the entire planet, really. All the MAGA people who want to say that she was a guy. She's got a lot of people to sue. I don't know if you could do a class action suit against the world.
They got it real hard on for like trans people. It's to the point like when they were doing this bit about kids being taken and people wanting to fuck kids, they were the ones fucking the kids with the Q anal stuff. It just seems like these guys are really turned on by a really somebody that looks like a dude, and they're hoping it's that she's got a dick. It's just really weird to me that they're very turned on about this.
Yeah. Trump is extending his breakdown. He's having a total disassociative. He's like, I think he tweeted 77 times in a half hour on Truth Social, whatever they call that, tweeted truth, whatever they call that.
He's truthing.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it. Don't call it that. I know that's what they call it, but it's not truthing. So
It's lying.
not,
It's anti-truth.
yeah,
But whatever. It's not even just lying. It's delusionary, beyond conspiracy theories. It's just like somebody lock up Grandpa already, and it's to the point where 'cause I don't know if you've read them, but has anyone noticed that Cabela cheated at the airport? She cheated at the airport. Capital cheated, by the way. There was nobody at the plane, and she AI'd it. AI'd a crowd. Because there's video of it all over the place. It showed a massive crowd, so-called followers, but they didn't exist. Now, this is a guy, projection. He walks out of a building, and we have plenty of videos of him everywhere, waving to non-existent crowds, like he's just going out and faking it so that they could put people in later. You talk about projection. This is what he's doing, but it was unmistakable, and the amount of real excitement and enthusiasm for her campaign is not being faked. I mean, this is their last gasp at trying to convince people, and I don't know the strategy behind it, because you're not going to take any votes away from her back to you by saying she's faking her enthusiasm. Nobody's you know.
Because how many women have never faked enthusiasm before?
Right.
You know, that's yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry. There are women out there going, "You go, Kamala. You fake that. You go. I need to take lessons." Sorry.
So it seems like I'm lying to convince myself, because I really need to believe that I'm going to win, even though all the reality says I'm not going to win. I need to lie just so I can believe it. You know, that's what the strategy seems to be. With
his strategy is just to cast enough shit out there so that when he takes it to the courts, and his minions that are in positions of influence in the electoral boards, when they start denying or refusing to certify elections, he can. That's the whole thing. They just want to throw disarray in there so that they can take it so that when it gets to the legislature, they can have some kind of doubt about the validity of the certification of those elections.
That's easy for you to say.
Well, it wasn't. It really wasn't. My sinuses are like dripping the whole time I'm trying to talk.
That press conference that he gave last week, or the rambling, and where he looked like an old drag queen that just was out for a couple nights, and it's just been fucked over and over and swallowed a few loads.
Yeah, go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah, so he's looking really rough these days. I mean, very rough, and you can tell that they're shaken. Like, they put all their eggs in that basket of Biden, and now it's looking rough.
This AI is really incredible, isn't it? Look how good this AI is.
It's the best. First of all, you know how you know it's not AI? The fingers are not fucked up.
Well, so I came across a video. I came across a video of somebody trying to show that this crowd was fake, right? Some of the things they pointed out were so just dumb. Like, look at these giants in the crowd. They're either giants or they're plugged in, and I'm like, or they're standing on something.
Or you're standing on something, right?
And then they're like, "Oh, look at the hands on this person." I'm like, that bitch is like 80 years old. Yeah, she's got creepy, weird looking hands. It's not AI doing it.
What they saw, Dinesh took a screenshot of just the plane, like a zoom in of the plane, and said, "Look, there are no reflections of the people in the plane, but clearly the reflections were photoshopped out." And should be mentioned that Dinesh D'Souza is a fraud who went to jail, got pardoned by Trump for his crime, but then his own company of 2,000 Mules said that they stopped distributing the film because D'Souza admitted in open court that all of the stuff in 2,000 Mules he made up out of thin air. I mean, none of it was factual. It was just made up bullshit. Fraud. So his own company called him a fraud in court and stopped distributing his film. This is the guy. They're basically, excuse me. So, yeah. Let me just, now, for contrast, I just want to share one more video. And that's this one. waving to the big crowds.
Now, in all sincerity, I mean, just to play devil's advocate, plants have feelings. If you walk out of a building and you don't wave to the plants, they feel it. They shrivel a little bit inside. So yes, the vegans should love the fact that Trump is at least recognizing plant rights and waving to them.
Yeah.
So, I think he gets the Bush vote there.
So now,
Go ahead. I would just like to see him come out and say, you're also awfully obsessed with this crowd size thing. You talk about this, and we're going to go do the adult stuff and talk about what's actually happening in the country that matters.
Well, he has lived his whole life with this idea of attention is the measuring stick of how good you're doing, and ratings were everything, and crowd sizes were everything. And so now it feels like humiliation to him that because every place she's holding rallies right now, she's packing the place, and then they show him in the same place with empty seats just 2 weeks before, and to him that's like the ultimate humiliation, not winning in the ratings thing. And this is causing speculation that he might drop out. He's not going to drop out.
No, he's not going to drop out. He cannot afford to it. He cannot afford to.
Well, maybe if he could find somebody he could trust to promise to take the spot, who would pardon him.
It's too late to get on the ballots in many places.
Right, I know.
If he drops out, he's going to jail.
Yeah, right.
For certain.
Yeah.
Even if I have to run for Attorney General of the United States, even though it's not a position you run for, if I have to campaign and run for that position so that I can throw his ass in jail.
Well, I don't think all the people who were taking guitar lessons from you are ready to vote. A lot of them aren't even Americans. So,
plus, it's almost more poetic if the story ends with him bringing himself down and ultimately being brought down by a black woman. That would be very poetic to see that play out.
I have him faking suicide in the bunker and then taking a U-boat to South America. Yeah, somewhere in South America.
He couldn't do that. His ego wouldn't let him because he wouldn't like the coverage or something. Then he'd come out like, "I'm still alive, damn it."
All right.
What it was, he would pretend that he was John Barron, his agent, his former spokesperson, and he was like, "I have it on good authority. That Donald Trump is not totally dead. He's just freezing, or is that total good authority, and he's sleeping with Madonna."
So yeah, but there are people, I don't want to say highly respected because nobody's highly respected in politics anymore. Pundits who have a big platform and a big audience, a big following, who are saying that he will drop out because he can't stand the humiliation of losing to her legitimately. Because if it's big enough, and now all the polls are saying that she's up big time in swing states, like 6 points in some of the swing states, and gaining every day. And if that continues to grow, then he'll find some reason to fake a sickness, whatever, to back out. I'm not giving any credence to any of it. I don't think that I agree with GD. I don't think in his mind at least, he can't afford to, because that means he's going to spend the rest of his life in jail.
Well, at least with an ankle bracelet, because I think some people they once he gets convicted of some of the more serious crimes, they're like any of the federal crimes, like the stealing the documents and stuff like that, the stealing the elections. I really think that his crackpot attorneys, was it crackpot? Crackerjack.
Oh, well, you could have both. The crackerjack.
Okay, his attorneys, his volunteer attorneys, because I'm not sure they're getting paid, will try to get the sympathy thing, like, he's really old, he won't make it in a federal prison. Can't we just have him wear an ankle bracelet and sentence him to spend the rest of his life in Mar-a-Lago so that everybody comes visit him there? That's what they'll shoot for. And I'd say no, make him spend the rest of his life in jail, still with an ankle bracelet. put him in jail with an ankle bracelet, and make Melania visit him every week. It's got to be part of his sentence. Melania has to visit him.
What about him setting himself up for an insanity defense? Because if you read some of the things he's posted in the last 48 hours, it definitely seems like, they talked about Biden's cognitive decline. What he's just demonstrating now, it makes Charles Manson look like a mentally stable guy. And I don't know if you remember what Manson's rantings were in court, but he was just off the wall. And Trump seemed like that kind of crazy. And some people are saying it's intentional to be set up for an insanity defense.
I don't think he wants an insanity defense. His attorneys may want it, because attorneys will take any defense they can get. It's like, whatever. Give me something. Come on, give me something. But no, Trump is just fucking delusional. And the problem that one of the things we're having is that when Biden was showing symptoms or signs of cognitive decline, they were like all over that shit. Trump is like full on dementia and delusional, and they're like, it's part of they just like filtered it in or factored it in. No.
Wow. Yeah. So, it's been a crazy weekend with him, but every weekend is crazy. Now, tonight he's doing a one-on-one with Elon Musk.
I just don't, but doesn't this time it feels different? Like now, like the train really does feel like it's off the tracks, and it's been for a while, because the press conference, he seems like really desperate, like like an old man, completely out of sorts, and like all his statements are just old man gibberish, like calling people names and it just feels like there's a large swath of the country is like, all right, grandpa, we're moving on. You go over here with your dick out in the backyard, and hopefully you won't get loose in the neighborhood again. So we have to do another silver alert.
Well, I agree with you to this extent that these even a lot of people who were on the Trump train are sick of the act. But they like what GD says, it's really going to be, they can't replace him now. They're stuck with him, and they know that, or they feel like I do, like this is going to be a complete fucking whitewash of Democrats winning the House, the Senate, and Congress, sacking the court, and just like pummeling the GOP like they are the New York Mets. And so they feel like this is their only chance, is to hope that he wins somehow, because they can't replace him. So they're stuck in a position of, man, we're doomed. The only way out of doom is to stay on the train and hope we can turn the train around, or right the ship in some way. Mixed metaphors again. But I don't think they have any other option. So I don't think, even though some of them are saying, I can't vote for him again. I voted for him twice. I believed all the bullshit, but this has just gone too far. Some other ones are just saying, no, we can't abandon ship, because if we do, it's going to be a long time before we get any fucking respectability back. It is going to be anyway. Got news for you. It's really bad.
The Republican Party, if they want to get respect, they need to, first of all, abandon the name Republican Party. They just need to go the way of the Whigs and the Federalists and the others. Start a new party with a new name. Yeah, it's going to be hard, but at least they have the people that they want in their party, and not the ones they have.
Well, I hate to agree with you, but that's the case. Now, before we go to the news here, J.D. Vance said that the Democratic Party is just calling names now. They're just calling us names. Like, have you checked out who you work for?
Yeah, they called them bullies. Said they were bullying people.
Stop name calling and bullying us. Wait a minute. Who are you on the ticket with again? I mean, it's just fucking bizarre for it to even go there, to say, damn, they're just name calling now. Because you're calling us weird, man. I'm not weird. You're weird. You're a hater. Anyway, I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood. Like, I didn't think a month ago. Well, actually, a month ago tomorrow will be the day of the fake assassination attempt, and we'll talk about that because I know you guys don't think it was fake, but I want to go there. Let's briefly.
Which one? Which
I don't think it was fake. I think it just didn't turn out the way they were hoping it was going to turn out.
Let's quickly bomb the news. We'll just listen to a few seconds of news and bomb this guy unless he has something good to say.
President Biden discussed his decision to exit the 2024 presidential race during an interview on CBS Sunday Morning yesterday.
President Biden, who previously stated that his 2020 run for the White House was motivated by concerns about former President Donald Trump, decided to withdraw from the 2024 race last month. He explained that his decision was partly influenced by the need to maintain the nation's focus on Trump and to unify the Democratic Party ahead of the November election. Liam White reporting.
Brazilian airline Vopass has updated the death toll to 62, including 58 passengers and 4 crew members aboard its plane that crashed Friday. Brazilian investigators have also recovered the flight recorders from the aircraft.
Vopass initially reported
57
right? passengers plus 4 crew members, but later adjusted the count to 58 passengers, raising the total fatalities to 62. The crash near the city of Vinhedo in São Paulo state left no survivors. Despite crashing in a residential area, the incident did not result in any casualties among local residents or visitors. Paul Gomez reporting.
A U.S. military base in eastern Syria was hit by a one-way drone, as confirmed by a U.S. defense official.
Initial assessments do not suggest any injuries from the attack, though the official noted that medical evaluations and damage assessments were still ongoing. There was an attack using a one-way attack, uncrewed aerial system OUAS, against U.S. and coalition forces at Rumeline landing zone in Syria, said the defense official. Joseph Eckerson reporting.
An Israeli airstrike targeted a school-turned-shelter in Gaza early Saturday, resulting in at least 80 fatalities and injuring nearly 50 others, according to Palestinian health authorities.
This incident is the most recent in what the UN Human Rights Office described as systematic attacks on schools by Israel.
I'm going to come back to a point I've tried to make. How many people do they have to wipe out? I mean, the population, again, I'm in Shoreham, there's 700 people here. I'm not thinking, and I know I brought up the numbers, but sooner or later, you're going to just keep pummeling and bombing places. You run out of, isn't everybody dead there yet? I mean, it's been 8 months now, right? Or 9 months, whatever it's been. Been
almost 10. I started I guess it started shortly after October 7th.
Okay. December 7th, right? December 7th.
October 7th.
October 7th. That's right. So yeah, it's almost a year. It's like 10 months, 11 months, right? Or 10 months.
10 months.
Yeah. And so all that bombing in 10 months with a place that is like the size of Long Island. I'm thinking Gaza is even smaller than Long Island. I would be able to wipe out Long Island with 10 months of bombing.
I know my comedy has wiped out more populations with 10 years of bombing. So
yeah. So how's this war going to keep going on? They're going to run out of people to kill, and they're just going to still be bombing nothing. Yeah, we bombed dirt today.
We bombed some old bombshells that we bombed earlier.
Yeah, that school that we blew up 6 months ago. Yeah, we blew it up again because we just didn't have anything else to do. We were bored.
Apparently, we missed some books.
Yeah. I'm going to bring it back to this faked assassination thing. Now, I say I have no evidence that this thing is faked, and it is very conspiratorial. A couple of things that I was reminded of. First of all, we don't know anything about this fucking kid. It's been a month now. We don't know anything about this kid. We don't know his motivation. We don't know his there's no social media, logs on this kid. There's no cell phone data that really shows anything about his parents haven't spoken out. The doctor who supposedly treated Trump at the hospital hasn't given a statement on this. He's basically forgotten about it. Like, forget about this. Let's not. And the media has totally turned the page. By this time, after John F. Kennedy was assassinated a month later, we knew every detail about how many times a day he took a shit, how he wiped his ass, which hand, where he traveled to everywhere. We know nothing about this kid. Like Secret Service fucked up. Let's just forget about it. That smells fishy.
Maybe there's nothing to know about the kid. Maybe he's so young he hasn't done anything yet.
Now, I'm telling you what it is. It didn't fit the narrative. They were hoping that that person was going to be brown or like very liberal, but it turned out it's just another fucking white kid that got bullied again and just went shooting, and it doesn't fit their narrative. If that shooter would have been any color than white, we'd still be fucking hearing about it today.
Well, there's 2 people who are dead. So, and I'm sure those people don't want to hear that this could have been staged. And I know you guys will disagree with me on this, but I think, knowing Donald Trump, here's what popped into my mind just this morning as I was taking the trash out. Morton Downey Jr. Remember Morton Downey Jr.?
Yeah.
He was good friends with Trump. He lived in Trump Tower, and he faked his own Nazi abduction in a bathroom in an airport. And he said that Donald Trump had planted that seed in his mind that he should do that for publicity, the self-abduction thing. Keep in mind, Trump says, I'm a fast healer. Now, I don't know if you know any 78-year-old people, but there's no such thing as a fast healer in 78-year-old people. He said he got hit in the ear. There's no damage to be seen. And keep in mind that this guy was a wrestler. Not a real wrestler, but he was with the WWF, WWE, all that kind of stuff, and had plenty of lessons in faking injuries and fake blood and all that kind of stuff. All that tends to, and the silence around it makes me think, this is we've been fucking lied to, and nobody fucking cares. Nobody's even fucking looking into it. We've just turned the other page on this. I think it was staged. I do. And I know that sounds conspiratorial, and I have no hard evidence on it. But the more days go by and the more bullshit I hear about, well, I just got nicked on the ear and I'm a fast healer. No, 78-year-olds don't heal fast. Their skin is like fucking toilet paper. It's so thin. So anyway. And I think people forgot about the Morton Downey thing. And that Downey was a good friend of Trump's, and that Downey suggested that Morton Downey do that. It was a counter to Tawana Brawley. I don't know if that name resonates with anybody. Tawana Brawley, who Alton Maddox and Al Sharpton basically got her to say that a white cop had abducted her, and it turned out to be a false story. She basically smeared shit on herself and gave herself bruises and all that kind of stuff. So.
Where'd you get this shit though? Whose shit that was? Don't you want to know?
I think it was dog shit, cow shit, whatever.
Oh.
I'm coming back to mushrooms again. No, it wasn't cow shit. It was dog shit. But yeah, so the fake abduction stuff has a direct tie back to Trump's MO, the wrestling stuff and the fake blood, because that blood didn't look real. And I don't know. It was a mess, but there was none on his hands. Come on, you put your hand up there and you just poured it on the ear. What the fuck?
Well, ordinarily, when agents are exposed to blood, which apparently they would have been in that situation, wouldn't they all have been HIV tested? Is that standard procedure when you're like a first responder and you're exposed to blood? Did you get tested and stuff? I mean, you didn't hear about them being tested. Now, I'm not saying that the whole thing is fake. I'm just saying that there's so much information that's not being put out there that is letting people create their own facts.
Right.
Know? Like they're trumping it, they're just trumping the facts.
If he wanted to put it to bed, he could just go to have his doctor released from his HIPAA regulations and say, yeah, put it out there, tell people exactly what you treated me for. He's not doing that. And why?
No, I definitely believe it happened. It's just they wanted to go away because it didn't pan out the way they were hoping.
Oh, no, I think he still wants to sell more of those fight plates and cups and things that he.
Yeah, but if it would have been like someone that was like very like progressive that would have shot him, we'd be hearing about that every day. Look what these libs are trying to do, blah 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 blah.
I took a bullet for you. Well, kind of just nicked my ear, actually.
And not only that, but the two people who actually did take bullets and they didn't make it, right?
Right.
So,
yeah. But the kids' parents haven't said anything either. Nothing. Like,
well, I think the mother said that he's grounded. I do think the mother said that he's grounded and is receiving timeout.
Well, apparently, like the firefighter that had died at the rally, apparently, like his tweets and stuff started coming out after his death, and his tweets were not great.
Right.
Did not paint him as a very good guy.
No, but his family took a call from Biden, but wouldn't take a call from Trump, which I find curious because he was definitely 100% MAGA. He bled MAGA red hats.
I wonder if that's because like probably how that campaign treated them after it happened.
Yeah,
they
misspelled his name at the convention on that fucking fake dummy they put on the stage, and really disrespectful as could be. But
that's what I've read about that. Supposedly, that is like the name is he actually had his name misspelled on purpose on his jacket. It was like a thing with him. But besides that, practically molesting it and kissing the jacket and helmet and stuff like that is just very creepy.
It was cringy.
Now the people moving away from my conspiracy theories about the fake assassination attempt, not real assassination. The people who have come out, it started. Who was the first one? Oh, Kyle Rittenhouse. He came out and said he wasn't voting for Trump, and then felt the wrath of MAGA, and then the next day went and said, "No, I'm back on the chain. I'm going to vote for Trump." And then Rogan did it, and then Rogan came, "Oh, I'm not endorsing RFK. I thought what Trump did, the fight thing, was the most American shit I've ever seen." Blah blah blah. So he retracted, and then Tim Pool. And he retracted. All these people, they go out and say they're off the Trump train, and then they get inundated with mob attacks, and then they retract their jumping off the Trump train. I'm back on the train kind of stuff. Any thoughts on that? Do you think it's cowardly?
I'm hoping that they at least vote their real conscience as opposed to what they're proclaiming, whatever their real conscience is. If you are frightened into voting a way that you would not vote ordinarily, there's something seriously wrong with you and the people that are attacking you.
Right.
I mean, first of all, I wouldn't back down. I think that's just a pussy.
So you're Tom Petty?
Well, I'm better than Tom Petty because he killed himself, didn't he?
No, well, I think he accidentally overdosed, but you can say he killed himself. You can say it. Go ahead, say it.
Yeah. Okay, he killed himself.
All right, you're a liar.
And now play the disclaimer about the views on this show are strictly those of Stephen Ortiz, and we repeat them.
Whoa! Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I swear to God, Randy.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not.
Look how dark I got. You see how dark I got?
Whoa, that's racist.
That's Professor talk kicking in.
Matt Lives Matter. Let's see this. Oh, that's a little better, but I don't know why. Playing a video makes me go dark. And once you go dark, I don't know.
That's not true. America did it after Obama.
Once you go dark, you lose your spark.
Yeah.
We just went black and went back.
Now, is Trent Babb not going to show up? Is Trent Babb not going to show up?
I didn't expect him to. He's a comedian. My God, they're so unreliable.
He's in California. Even though he's shown up before, and he reached out to me. It wasn't like he was responding to he said, "I want to come on and promote my thing with Leno." So, and he's generally been very reliable. If you look at his schedule, holy crap, this guy's working a lot. He's a professional, so I am surprised if he doesn't show up, and he's got 15 seconds to be on time.
His hands were soft and supple.
No, I don't think his hands are soft and supple. Now, I'm going to say this even before he gets here, in case he gets here, that He is like he's a Clay Aiken lookalike.
Okay, I don't know who Clay Aiken is.
Clay Aiken, the gay guy who was from the second season of American Idol. Remember Rupert Studdard, whatever the guy.
Okay, I remember a name. I remember the black guy was kind of chubby.
Yeah, that was Rupert Studdard. He won. Clay Aiken was the second guy who came up, but he had actually more hits, more of a career. I was thinking about this last night because of Trent looking like Clay Aiken. The only person I know who I can think of, and I don't follow. I've never followed it very closely at all. But from American Idol, who parlayed it into a long career, is Kelly Clarkson. Anybody else?
What about the black chick who was in Dreamgirls?
Oh yeah, what?
I can't
she's
remember
on she's on like America's Got The Voice or something now,
and
right?
she has her own TV
Hudson,
show.
Jennifer Hudson, right?
Yeah, Jennifer Hudson.
Yeah, good one. I forgot about her.
I just remember. I could barely remember her name, but yeah.
Yeah, nobody else got because there was that guy Daughtry who had like a couple of hits, right? And I can't. Clay Aiken had like a year where he was doing he did Regis and Kelly. He was a sub host for Regis and Kelly.
Didn't one of them be going to sing lead for a band? Like, where did the guy from Queen come from?
Oh yeah, the guy from Queen. Who's the guy who sings Adam something?
Adam Levine. Or not Adam no, Adam
Shift.
Adam
Sure.
Mercury. Adam Mercury.
Adam
basically.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he might have come from one of those shows. I'm not sure if it was that one.
And what about the Filipino guy from Journey?
I think he was an audition tape thing.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting. Yeah, I forgot about him too. But he's not I don't think he was an American.
Adam Lambert. It's Adam Lambert.
Was he an American Idol dude? Was he an
Yes.
American Idol? Yeah, he was. Wow. Okay, so I'm wrong. There have been several of them who actually have.
Yeah, but considering how many have been on the show.
Yeah, it's been
really
years, like 25 years.
It's him, Carrie Underwood, and Kelly Clarkson.
Carrie Underwood.
Are the biggest known acts probably to come out of there.
Yeah. So you don't give Jennifer Hudson any credit with.
But she's black.
That's right. She was there too. Yeah, Jennifer Hudson had a
No,
little bit of.
I think we figured out Ron's MO. He likes black dudes and white chicks with big tits.
That's wrong. I do like black dudes, and I love all women.
Well, I did say like black dudes. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. If you like all women, then I want to see you get off to a picture of Rosie O'Donnell right now.
Oh, he said he liked. He didn't say he he didn't say he loved him. But in a pinch, but she'll do in a pinch, right, Ron?
And sometimes you got to get that poison out.
Oh, well, that's for my gay man. I had a whole episode of Gay Man written out where it was Clark Kuntz, not Clark Kent. Clark Kuntz was Superman, but gay man. And Lois Lane, like Lois Lane, but it was Lois Lane who was secretly in love with him. And then the first episode, Lois gets bit in the dick by a snake, and gay man has to suck out the venom.
But with his super jaws, wouldn't he just drain everything, and it'd be like at the end of the show?
I didn't take that into account. See, you can't apply too much logic to gay man.
I'm just saying, one of the things I liked about Hancock was when he had an orgasm, he shot the hooker across the room.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one. I've given you plenty to talk about. Talk amongst yourselves while I to see if Clay Aiken is coming. I mean, Trent Babb. Trent Babb is coming.
Clay Aiken. Whoa.
So.
So you guys got any? You guys got any gigs this weekend or next week?
How about tonight? Ron has his Monday night.
Oh fuck! It's Monday. I keep thinking it's like Thursday for some reason. Yeah, that's right. It's Monday. Yeah, what do we got tonight?
Yeah, as a terrible comedian, I'll see if I can put this show together tonight. I just don't know if I can do it.
Are you really a terrible comedian, or is that just the perception of GD and Steven?
No, that's
No,
not.
it's
No, that's not me.
yeah,
Look, I appreciate Ron's humor. I think his humor is and uh, dark and dexterly. I appreciate for what he is. There are people now. If you're trying to put Ron in if you try to pigeonhole Ron and compare him to, let's say, I'm just Sarah Silverman, just to grab a comedian.
Wow.
It's not going to be a fair comparison, because they are two different approaches totally. And I think that's the rub. Some people want everybody to be alike or to fit in their little bubble, or they just object to the fact that they're gatekeepers and they don't want to be called gatekeepers.
So it looks like we have 2 no-shows already. It's Monday and 2 no-shows already.
And I'm sorry, Ron. I didn't mean to overstep. You go ahead and talk. You represent yourself, Ron.
Ron, was there? I don't want to probe. Well, I do want to probe,
You
but
do want to probe.
not in that way. Let me get my probe stick out. Is there a reason you brought up this? Is there a scar that needs healing? Ow! Is there a scar?
Well, no, the only reason I brought it up because apparently someone in the middle of the night, which is a grown man in the middle of the night, wrote this post about me. And
was it Donald Trump? Because he's a middle of the night tweeter.
Yeah.
I just tased myself on air, and nobody cares.
But then it was taken down about 10 hours later or whatever.
Yeah, but I did Photoshop it. Not Photoshop. Photo.
Do you know what prompted it? Did you do something that was there an altercation that inspired it, or this just came out of nowhere? Like the guy woke up 2:00 in the morning or midnight and said, "Fucking Ron Keane, I'm gonna fucking trash him on Facebook."
Yeah, well, it's been going on for a while, and it's like I said a few months ago, the person said, "Hey, I won't hire you because I don't like you and I don't understand your comedy," and that's like, well, that's gatekeeping 101 right there, and the whole thing is like telling people I'm not a gatekeeper. It's like, well, that is gatekeeping. I mean, what else do you want to call it? So, occasionally, it comes up on my podcast, and it gets sticky. It gets sticky too because my podcast partner knows this other guy, but then it's just I think it's finally reached the head. I guess.
You know what I would do? I would go on his Facebook page and I would post this.
I think you're a loser.
I think you're a loser.
But that was a good movie even though it was so hokey. It was so fucking hokey. I watch it like every time it comes on. I even have it on DVD. I really like that movie, even though it differed from the book.
What movie is that?
The Natural. It's about a
Steven,
hairstylist.
you don't know what movie that is, Steven?
I think you're a loser.
It's got this hairstylist has got this huge afro, okay, and they try to make him shave it toward the end of the movie, and he doesn't shave it. And this guy here had bet on him shaving his natural, and he says, "You're a loser," because he won't shave his natural. It's a really, really powerful black movie. It is.
Yeah, I can't believe Steven doesn't know that movie. It's one of the best blaxploitation films ever.
It is. I mean, Fred Williamson, Jim Brown.
How did Darren McGavin get in there?
Well, there's always a white villain in blaxploitation films. Always. I mean,
yeah, you gotta have a token white guy.
Yeah, Chris Tucker was in it. He played the actual natural. He played the hairstyle. Not the person.
My hand is still killing me from where I tased myself just a minute ago.
They say, I know if you get stung by a jellyfish, if you urinate on it, the stinging stops. But if you tase yourself, I think if you stick the finger in your ass, this stops.
I'd have to stick my whole hand because it got me here.
Oh, fisting.
I fist myself. Yeah. Wasn't there a song? When I think about you, I fist myself.
Yes.
Was that no.
Was that the Divinyls? Ron is the music expert. Was that the Divinyls?
That sounds painful.
Yeah, Divinal is just the wrong name of the song.
Okay.
Yeah. Nothing from Trent Babb. He hasn't gotten back to me, so we have been officially stiffed twice today. And stunned.
One final thing I'd say to all the kiddies out there that are listening, or the open micers, just do your thing and don't let fucking people stop you and get caught up in their bullshit, because everyone in this business, in a sense, can control their own destiny, and it's what you put into it and what you get out of it, essentially. So.
Right. Now, there is first of all, Jelly Roll is playing at a club that I have played at many times. Mikey brought it up to me, and he's like, seeing if we can get an opening spot there. But this club that we played at, we were a regular at this place. We got in there from the bartender, and the bartender's name was Laura, and she got us in the club. And then she had a falling out with the management there over a guy who was booking stuff there. This guy's name was Ira. And Ira had recently divorced, and he got into booking bands to try to get a girlfriend. Ira was a pathetic shell of a man, but he became the gatekeeper at this place. And Laura left the bar, and he wrote me a DM on Facebook about, we're glad to have you guys at the bar, but you can't mention Laura, and you can't promote any of her events, or we'll have to drop. And I'm like, who the fuck are you? You little fucking cunt of a man. And I was like, I said, first of all, don't ever fucking talk to me again, or I will beat the living piss out of you. And he went to the owner of the club, who knew that we were doing very well. And the owner, Lou was his name, and said, Lou called me and said, Matt, what's this with Ira? I said, and Ira went to him and said, Matt told me he'd kick my ass and shut the fuck up. And he was attempting to be a gatekeeper. And Lou called me and he said, what's up with Ira? I said, you know what? He's not a man. If he's got a fucking problem with anybody, he should take it up with them, not come back channel to me, DMing me about how he doesn't like this bartender and whatever. And Lou was originally going to read me the riot act, like you can't be mistreating him. He's now like booking all the bands here. And by the end of it, Lou was fucking kissing my ass. I was like, Lou, you got a problem with me. You talk to me directly. Ira would never do that. He went to you like, Daddy, please, hey, get my fight for him. The reason I'm bringing this up is with these gatekeepers, eventually they all fuck themselves like this. And if you can establish some kind of direct contact with the club owner and make them see the pitiful, poor excuse of a man that they're dealing with, sometimes the tables turn. And that's how I would approach it, not like maliciously thinking I'm going to fuck this guy, but I would try to create a direct relationship with the owner of the club, bypass none of these gatekeepers really own anything. And they think they do. They establish relationships, but there's always a workaround, in my opinion. You can, and sometimes that workaround could take months, years, or whatever of persistence to try to get to the people who actually do the booking. But in the end, that's a strong possibility. And when that happens, they cry. They cry like fucking little girls. So that's Ira's that little girl crying now. Nobody likes Ira anymore. At one point, right after that, a bunch of people rallied around Ira, and Matt was the bad guy. But then they all saw for themselves what a piece of shit this guy was. Still hasn't got a girlfriend. This is 10 years later. Still doesn't have a girlfriend, and the only reason he's interested in music at all is trying desperately to get a girlfriend. He's just a loser. Like Steven.
Whoa.
I know. I'm sorry.
I've been married. I'm on my second marriage. You know how many girlfriends I've had?
I think you're a loser.
All right.
No, how many? How many girlfriends have you had?
Because you're black?
Actual girlfriends, maybe like 4 or 5, but
wow.
Hookups a little higher.
I had more than that in one family.
Well, I mean, listen, when it came to actually having a girlfriend, it was few and far in between because I don't like a lot of people. So
me neither.
When it came to hookups, though, The hookups, on the other hand, that number's significantly higher. But
Mr. Stud, he is turning into Willie, isn't he?
No, because I'm not sitting here saying how many, what color, what size, what we did, and where we did. I'm not giving all that.
Well, no, Willie would definitely say they were all black and fat. He had a thing for black fat chicks.
No, I'm not. I'm not going into details. I was just saying, like, girlfriend wise, really low.
That would be anal.
Really low.
That would be anal. If you went into detail, that would be the anal.
Yeah.
The front is vaginal. The tail, that's anal.
I'm very disappointed about today. No.
Sorry, Matt. I'll try to make better bad jokes.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
You know what?
You lighten your skin for Matt.
No, he is a fairly light-skinned black man. He almost could pass for Pusatuck. He almost could.
It's the hair. I'm getting these texts about somebody who's performing in the Opera House in Maine, Waterville Opera House, and it's a place that I was trying to get into, and I was like so fucking close to getting in there as a comedian just before the pandemic, and because I used to perform in Maine on a regular basis, and I wanted to get into the Opera House, and now they're telling me Elvis Costello is going to be there on November 10th, and I'm like, I like Elvis Costello, but I'm not going to Maine just to see him unless I get to open up for him or something. I'm not doing it.
I wouldn't go to Maine to see anybody.
Well, I have family there, so I wouldn't be going just to see him. I'd have to see my family as well.
I wouldn't go there to see me.
Well, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
I'm not going to Maine.
If the rest of the Rockin' 45s was with you, I wouldn't go to Maine either, but I would at least talk to people about going to see y'all in Maine if they were there.
Yeah, no, I definitely not. Rockin' 45s, I would even be less inclined to go to Maine. So yeah. So tonight is Mr. Tongues. Now, when is the next bucket thing for Mr. Tongues?
That's going to be September.
Oh, no way. While away. I thought you'd get a little spill off. The Madison Square Garden bucket heads who didn't get in. They might come to your bucket thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Bucket spill. That's what we call that. It's a professional term we use every once in a while. Bucket spill.
Yeah, all I need now is celebrity guests for my bucket show, and I'll be set.
Yeah, I mean the number of
you could probably get Pauly Shore for like a bag of Coke and $20.
I don't think so.
No, I think he's $40, and it's 2 bags of Coke.
Let's not talk bad about Pauly Shore.
I'm not talking bad about him.
You're saying $40.
Right. I doubled his value, okay? That's not talking bad. I just doubled his value.
He's headlining places all over the country. Paulie's doing very well.
He's doing better than me. I mean, I'm not I'm not knocking him. I sat there and defended him to Steve.
Right.
And you saying I'm knocking him. I doubled his value.
You should have 10 times or 100 times the value. I don't
know him. How am I supposed to? I at least doubled it. I'm just assuming he's.
You don't know Pauly Shore?
I don't know him. No, I've seen him. I've interacted with him. I do not know him. He wouldn't know me. Well, he might know because I didn't have dreads back then.
You know, he calls me dude, but then again, he calls everybody on the planet dude. But
I do have showbiz news. If you
let's do showbiz news. Is Pauly Shore in it?
He is not.
Then I don't want to.
Can you add him?
I don't want to do it. I want. Listen, while we're playing the intro, see if you can come up with a Pauly Shore segment in showbiz.
And now, bringing you the latest in entertainment news from Hollywood, New York, and East Bumfuck, Montana. Here's our chief entertainment correspondent, Ron Kane. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showbiz.
Can you actually say bumfuck on YouTube? I don't know. Can you say?
Yeah, you can.
I hear it.
I think the requirements on YouTube is you can't cuss within the first minute. I think
7 minutes. I thought.
Who's running showbiz? Pauly Shore.
Yeah, it's showbiz, everybody. It's Monday, so it's lick your lips. It's lick your lips Monday. Yeah, I figured this would be a good picture to start. Who's running showbiz? Because that's there are stories out there that Republicans are complaining that Joe Biden isn't working, and
those hostages freed themselves.
Yeah. So that makes me laugh. So that's a picture of Biden snoozing on the beach.
Or is that the body double?
Or triple. Who knows? Who
Biden
knows?
double. I think they call him a Biden double.
Yeah.
But on with that. So first thing here is movie wise. Believe it or not, a rom or no a romedy or whatever you want to call it almost took down Deadpool. This Blake Lively movie is it's based off a 2016 novel, and it made $50 million this weekend. It's called It Ends With Us, and it just barely scratched taking down Deadpool. So in case you guys were wondering, Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds are doing fine right now, if you're wondering.
Wow. Wow. Almost took down Deadpool. What we're talking about numbers. How many millions and billions in dollars?
Deadpool made like 52 million. And this made 50 million. So it's like the box office is actually really heated up of late. Beginning of the summer, it was looking really rough. Then Inside Out 2 did well. So if you have Disney stock, you're probably pretty happy right now.
My wife and I saw Deadpool and Wolverine yesterday.
And what you think?
I thought it was. I really, really enjoyed it, and my wife enjoyed it. And she's not a Marvel person.
Yeah,
she loved the banter, the script writing.
Now, from what I understand, and I don't understand a lot, but he gets stabbed like 1 billion times, but never he heals immediately or something. Is that the deal?
Well, it's not. I mean, it depends on he does regenerate tissue, and the longevity depends on the seriousness of the wound.
So there's no way to kill him. He's unkillable.
Well, he's not unkillable. He just hasn't died yet.
Yeah. And it's the movies. No one ever dies. Speaking of movies, another movie that released this weekend was a video game adaptation of the game Borderlands. And this movie has been savaged right out of the gate. It was directed by Eli Roth. You can see it's got Kevin Hart, Jamie Lee Curtis in it, Kate Blanchett. But this movie only made like $8 million, and it's horrible. Apparently, that's the word on the street, anyway.
Wow.
Well, of course, it's horrible. It starts with the black guy. Okay, he dragged it down. I'm sorry.
They could have put some light on the black guy because he's almost invisible. He's not in the darkness. At least he could smile, show me some white teeth or white eyes, so we can know he's there.
Yeah.
He turned black, and now she wants to be known as Black.
He doesn't want to be known as Black. He wants to be known as
rich.
Yeah, rich.
And he is. He's rich and he's successful, but he's not funny. So.
Jamie Lee Curtis, she's like 105.
Yeah, she's up there in age, but she's been in some hit movies of late, and
she was in The Bear, which that's a series, but it's not a movie.
She was good at The Bear.
Yeah, she shows up in The Bear, so she's still doing her thing.
She was in everywhere, everything, every once or something.
Yes.
Is there a sequel to The Bear called The Otter?
You can only hope, Matt. You can only hope.
I like that.
So I don't know. Do you want to see this movie, Steven? I sort of want to see it just to see if it is horrific.
At this point, yeah, I think it'd only be worth watching to see how bad it really is. I had concerns about it just because, I mean, honestly, I think this movie could have done without Kevin Hart, to be honest with you. I think it could have done without Jamie Lee Curtis too, but we'll see what happens. I'm not excited. I'm really not.
Yeah.
And the weirdest thing is, like, I like Kate Blanchett, and I like usually what she does, and even like bad movies that she's been in, she's brought some kind of credence to it.
Because she's naked?
No, I don't think I've ever seen her naked in anything. The closest was Benjamin Button. You know.
I do. All right. No. Rob, Bad Dad and Reno, Rob S. and Ellie King. Now, Rob Schneider, he's Mr. Not Funny.
Yeah, so this story is out there. I didn't know that he was her father. So,
wow.
Yeah, so that's singer Elle King. She's Grammy nominated. And
X's and O's, that's who that is? That fat bitch that thinks she's sexy?
No.
Don't call her that. She is not like being called sexy.
Oh.
No, this is not Billie Eilish or anything. But
no,
anyway,
that's not, X's and O's was this girl, I think. X's and O's. Hold on.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. Anyway, she was on some podcast talking about her dad and how her dad is not really a great guy. Sent her to fat camp a lot when she was a kid.
Yeah, she's a fat bitch.
And she hurt her ankle one summer at fat camp, and she couldn't lose any weight, and he berated her and all sorts of other shit. So it seems like it's fitting. It's kind of par for the course for these hard right guys and their kids coming out like, yeah, this guy's a piece of shit.
No, just to be clear, he's a RFK right winger, not a Trump right winger. But I know. Write me the hate mail. Go ahead. I'm not fat shaming women. That said, these women that come off women, these women that are overweight who come off like I'm so fucking sexy, man can't resist me. I want to say, get a grip, you fat bitch. And this is her. She's definitely X and O. Her hit was X's and O's. And it was all about how all the men are just all over her. Like, no, I see you.
I think there are probably comedians that over her, right-wing comedians over her, trying to get next to her dad.
Yeah, that's probably it. Because I'm telling you, she's not sexy at all. She could be if she lost 150 pounds. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, and she also alleges that he forgot every single one of her birthdays. So that's there's some
that would be good.
There.
That would be good to play about, because the clip where he's on Glenn Beck talking about the day when families were a nuclear unit and we all cared about each other. It's a guy who doesn't even remember his daughter's birthday. Probably doesn't even remember her name.
And you're seeing the same thing with Elon Musk. I mean, his kids coming out talking about him and things like that. I mean, he's supposed to be very smart, but he can't figure out how to use a condom. That's very sus.
Yeah. Wow.
All right. And see this next story here. Yeah. Streaming and creaming. There's a story in the Hollywood Reporter you may want to check out. It's about stand-up comedy and how everyone is buying stand-up comedy currently.
Not me.
So according to with all these streamers now and everyone getting involved with stand-up, since Hulu, we have talked about this before, how Hulu has been making plays to bring comics like Jim Gaffigan. And in fact, they're bringing Bill Burr's special to Hulu, which they apparently shelled out roughly $15 million for Burr's hour.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Does that all go to him?
Probably not all to him, but he's still probably getting a pretty good fucking payday.
Yeah.
Because you take out his managers or whatever and everything else. So he's probably at least clearing a couple million out of this.
Wow. That's a shocking big number for a comedian to get for 1 hour. Probably not the record either. I don't know what the record is. We could probably Google that. What's the record?
I don't have it.
No, I think Chappelle is still currently the highest earner per stand-up special because of that deal that he had with Netflix and shit.
He's been kind of quiet lately, hasn't he?
Yeah, he hasn't. I mean, he's popped here and there, but that's kind of like par for the course for Chappelle.
And also,
especially like right now.
And also with Chappelle, I think he was so far up the echelon. He was so high up in the echelon of comedians that he cannot really afford to just do shit stuff. You know, when he comes out with something, people are expecting it to be like the shit.
Well, I'm going to disagree with you a little bit there, because he did do like 4 Netflix specials in a row that were just him whining about people being. He was upset that people. It was the trans stuff about the criticism, and it wasn't. There weren't a lot of laughs in any of it. It was more like professorial type. He was getting on a soapbox and really making it all about people don't like me anymore for 4 in a row.
In that case, I stand corrected. I was just thinking if I were that good, then I wouldn't want to step back. You know, okay, never mind. I was projecting. I stand corrected.
You are that big, just not in terms of actual numbers,
fans, or appreciation, or money,
reality,
or
worth,
or any of those things.
Like with the trans stuff, like I see some of Dave's points. Like he made some great points. Like, you can't, if you're gonna make fun of black people and everyone else, you got to be able to be on the board and be able to handle the fucking jokes as well, which is a very fair assessment, especially when it comes to comedy. It's like you can't sit on the side and say we can't do this if we can't make. Everyone deserves to be made fun of.
I don't disagree with you. I actually made some of those same points about what he was saying did not seem to be like really hate speech about trans people. It seemed like he was trying to make sense of the conversation. But that aside, I don't think his last 4 specials were comedy specials. There may have been a couple of laughs in them, and there were like 1 or 2. That's really funny. But when you think of Dave Chappelle and who he was, you would expect an hour to be like gut busting laughing, and most of them were just like professorial. Like I'm gonna be a pundit here, and I'm gonna talk about politics. I'm gonna talk about my life. I'm gonna talk about people criticizing me, and forget to write any jokes in the whole process. So
is that similar to what happened to Carlin in his last days?
I think so. I blamed Kelly's not going to like this. Kelly's on September 18th. I think Kelly's with me. I think Carlin definitely set the bar to people thinking that they could get away with that. Now, to GD's point, I think his George Carlin's last couple of specials, it started to get too much of not funny, just me talking about what I believe, my philosophies, and people started to look at it like it was a college course they were taking rather than going to comedy shows. I think Carlin put that out there, and there are a lot of people try to imitate that, people who have no fucking time in the game to actually get there. And Carlin took 30 years, 40 years building up that cred that he could actually do that. Yeah. And I think that's what I said about Chappelle. I think he fell into the Carlin trap of people are coming to hear my wisdom, not my comedy.
Yeah. I agree with some of that, and there's very good points. I feel out of all those, like The Dreamer is a very solid stand-up special from Chappelle. I really like The Dreamer a lot. There's some great jokes in that, and you can tell that Dave is actually like kind of having fun on stage, being a comedian, and it's great. I love it. It's funny.
Right.
But yeah.
What is the creaming? The streaming, I understand. Where's the creaming?
If you're streaming, you'll get the creaming if you got the right company.
Yeah, well, the creaming is that currently Netflix, they remain the current #1 buyer of stand-up because they're paying anywhere from $200,000 on up for the licensing fee for a stand-up special.
Well, I'm available. Let them know I'm available as I say goodbye to Govs right now. Govs,